Yes, people, welcome back to the channel. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to the propaganda machine. This is the match reaction to Arsenal 2, Villarreal 3. And quite frankly, this pre-season has been an absolute shit show. It started off not the worst, but the last two games against Tottenham and now Villarreal have just been abysmal. Arteta needs to get his starting lineup ready for that Manchester United game on the first game of the season next Sunday because he's been mission and mashing the squads. But now we got to get serious. And from the beginning, the lineup, we had Norgard and Marino in the midfield with Ethan Wanyeri. That is not going to be the midfield that starts the opening game of the season. Yes, that is granted. But from what I saw, yeah, things just don't look like they're going to get much better for Arsenal. First of all, in the game, we had Gyokeres. Gyokeres kept making runs in behind and nobody was finding him. We kept trying to play balls into the box, but it weren't the right type of ball. A lot of the balls towards the back post, balls in the air, not low driven crosses towards the front post. Only once or twice that happened, and he weren't expecting it. He didn't get a touch for the first 30 minutes. The first half, it was like he was non-existent. And that's because we weren't finding him. We just weren't finding him, and he just looked lost. He looks like someone that had never played with his teammates. And you could say, yes, that is true. But they've been training together for at least a week now. So I'm hoping moving forward, we start to see some chemistry because that was very, very worrying. Very, very worrying. We're only using the right hand side again because the left hand side is non-existent. Skelly inverting, no overlapping runs. You got Martinelli, just non-existent, just there, running with his head down. This can't continue much longer. On a more positive note, so we went in, I think it was 2-1 at half time. Nicolas Pepe scored and someone else scored. And Norgard pulled one back with a header from a corner. We're still lacking in open play, which is a bit of a worrying sign. But Arteta, he switched it up for the second half. At least in the second half, we were able to at least see Arteta change the tactics. He went with more like a three at the back. Mosquera, Gabriel, and Saliba and Kivior. Then you had a box in the midfield, Lewis Skelly with Norgard, and then you had the two in front of them, Marino and Wanyeri. Then you had Saka and Martinelli more wide with Gyokeres up front. So it did look a bit better. We had more control, especially actually wait, at half time we made two changes. Zubimendi come on. So we had a lot more control. He was able to dictate play. And that is a very, very positive sign. I'm liking that from Zubimendi. Being able to control the tempo of the game. That is very good. But still, we were still looking in open play. And it weren't until I think it was when they got no, just before they got the third goal. We made subs on the 60-minute mark. We made 6 substitutions. Pepper came on, Max Dowman, Odegaard, Gabriel, Timber, and I think one more player came on as well, Declan Rice. So we did look a bit better. The team was a lot more stronger, but still we conceded on the counter attack. And when it went to 3-1, we kind of feared the worst. And although Max Dowman was able to draw a penalty which Odegaard converted, there wasn't too many chances. And when the game opened up, that's when we needed a striker. But we just didn't have a striker to do what was required. But yeah, that's kind of it for the match reaction. But I just want to see Arsenal in the next game play a very, very strong side, one that resembles our starting line for the Man U game. We need at least 9 players that are starting to be ready. I don't know if Gabriel is going to be ready, Timber, but I'd like to see them get a lot more minutes, a lot more than 30 minutes. So hopefully they can maybe even start those games just to see if they can get 45 minutes. Yeah, we go into our 5 takeaways for the game. First takeaway, we'll start with positives. Max Dowman. Now, I'm at the ground. People are saying, is he ready? The boy is ready. He's ready. They're saying he's too young. He's going to get clamped. Why do I want to see a kid get clamped? No. Yamal was ready, and this boy is ready. He's not on Yamal's level, but you can just see he's so talented. So, so talented. When he gets the ball, everyone in the stadium gets excited because they know something's going to happen. All his teammates, they're just funneling the ball to him. Martinelli doesn't get this treatment. People are not quick to give him the ball. It's like they trust him, just like they trust Saka. But they trust him. They seem to trust him even more in tight places. Just give him the ball. The only player that's not giving him the ball frequently is Odegaard. It's like Odegaard doesn't want Max Dowman to shine. He knows what is coming. His position is under serious threat from Dowman and Wanyeri. And if we get Eze, he's probably going to be on the bench. Odegaard might get benched at some stage this season because if his performances do not pick up, I can only see one thing happening: Odegaard on the bench. But to Max Dowman, he won the penalty. Just IQ. He's not afraid to shoot. I just want to see him continue. I hope Arteta doesn't stifle him because he stifles a lot of attacking talent. We saw Pepe today. Pepe and Max Dowman, they were the 2 best players on the pitch by far. By far. It weren't even close. You could just see it's a different level from the 2 of them, which is crazy to say because players like Saka were on the pitch, Rice came on, Gyokeres was on the pitch, many, many talented players, but those were the 2 players that stood out in the ground. Everyone was saying, wow, it's amazing. Wow, okay, why did we let him go? But this is down to Arteta. He needs to find a way to get the best out of his attacking talent. But Dowman, great performance, and I'm so, so happy for him. Well done, Max. Well done, man. Second takeaway, Victor Gyokeres. Team, they need to start playing them balls in behind. And also, he needs to stop tracking back. Arteta needs to come up with a game plan. Because I'm seeing at times Villarreal, they're 15, 20 yards in a half. Gyokeres needed to be towards the halfway line, ready for that counter attack. One ball in behind. I don't know why teams do that. Don't do that. They're more interested in defending. Sometimes you got to be ready for the counter attack. You have to be ready. He needs to be on the shoulder of the last defender, ready, especially when teams are in our half. So we just played one ball, long ball over the top. Then, if the goalkeeper's out of his goal, he's got a chance to lob the goalkeeper from the halfway line. That's the reality of the situation. Arteta needs tactics that suit our striker. He needs to come up with something that suits our striker. Skelly takes too long to play the ball in behind, which is another negative. You've got other people that are taking too long to get the ball into him. By the time they get into the ball into him, the defender is already made his march and bumps into him, knocks him off balance, and he's unable to keep the ball. He doesn't even get the chance to set himself to put his arms out to protect the ball. And this is something I need to see improve from Arsenal. the next game we play, I need to see something different. I need to see the change. I need Arteta to work some sort of magic that allows us to get the best out of our striker. All in all, he didn't have the best debut at the Emirates, but it's not all down to him. It weren't all down to him. His match fitness doesn't look there as well as much sharpness, but I'm sure he will get up to speed in no time. Third takeaway, Miles Lewis Skelly. So as I said, Pepe was the best player, and I can see that left back area becoming a problem area. I can see it becoming a problem area because sometimes he's out of position. The left back at Arsenal always seems to be out of position, and teams are starting to counter us. They're starting to target that left hand side. When Skelly vacates it, boom, ball in behind him. Pepe had him on toast all game, all game. He barely got the better of him. Kudus done the same last game. So it's becoming a problem when he's playing against tricky right wingers. That's probably because he's not a natural left back. So I'm hoping during the season in bigger games we get to see Yuri and Timber shifted over to left back, Ben White or Mosquera at right back, just so that threat is not there as much because I know when Timber's there, he's more likely to lock up his right winger. And Miles Lewis Skelly's a natural midfielder. Maybe he needs to get moved into the midfield. We've got Marino there. Marino's not a very good midfielder. So what I'd say is maybe he's our second striker. But then you've got Kai Havertz. What do we do with Kai Havertz, our highest paid player? This is a conundrum. This is a problem that Arsenal need to fix. We need to get that sorted sooner rather than later. But yeah, man, the news has come out today that it's Eze and the left winger. So hopefully that can kind of ease the stress on the left hand side because the whole left hand side is a problem. And that is where we move on to the fourth takeaway, the left wing. Martinelli is not good enough for Arsenal Football Club. I think the jury's out. The jury's come out and Martinelli's guilty. He's guilty of many war crimes. First war crime is running with his head down. And I've been telling people if I see kids in my sessions doing that, I have to stop the session and give them an example of how to dribble. Do not dribble just with your head down. You need to be able to glance up and see what's around you. And he's unable to do that. There's players making runs, but his head's down, so he can't see them to slide in that ball in behind. And it's very, very robotic. He goes to run at his man. If that don't work, he tries again. Instead of maybe recycling it, dropping back wide and getting the ball again and trying again. His decision making is very, very poor. Very, very poor. And I was hoping we would start to see the Martinelli from, I think it's 3 seasons ago now, where he got 15 non-penalty goals. He looked like he was improving. We had Gabriel Jesus drifting to the left-hand side, him going inside, finishing, but he's regressed crazy. Like the regression is mad. So I think, yeah, we just need to get rid. Trossard went on the bench today, so it looks like he's going as well. So I don't know if Martinelli's gonna stay, but as I said, we're looking at a left winger. Hopefully that is like a Leao, a Lookman. Rodrigo looks like he's staying, so it's not gonna be him. I'm not an Anthony Gordon fan per se, but right now it's gone still. When things go still, changes need to be made. They need to be made sooner rather than later. Because even Eze can play on that left hand side if he comes in. Madueke can play there. Yes, I didn't want Madueke, but at this stage, anything is better than Martinelli. Like anything. If he's ready to accept being a super sub like Trossard, then maybe he can play. When we're winning games, stretch the game and try to kill off the game with his pace in behind. But yeah, it's just not looking good. It is not looking good. The fans in the stadium, a lot of them have had enough. So he's on borrowed time. The fifth and final takeaway, Mikel Arteta. So Mikel Arteta, this is your biggest season as the Arsenal manager. Fans, granted, a lot are still with you. So those people that are Arteta out currently, we are all in the minority. But from the fan reactions that I've seen in the ground, I had someone to my left, someone to my right. They're both saying, get this manager out, Arteta needs to go. I thought I'm the negative one. This is what people told me, I'm the negative one. But people have had enough. So this season is do or die. I don't think the FA Cup is going to do it. I don't think the League Cup is going to do it. Maybe a domestic double. And this is what I was already saying last season. But now it seems like there's a lot of support for that opinion. A lot of people are looking and questioning the manager, his tactics, his in-game substitution, his player ID. These things need to change. So I don't know if it will, but I've seen miracles happen. And Arteta, he needs to go and win the Premier League or the Champions League. Anything close, the majority of the fans are going to turn. The people that are on the fence, the people that are backing you, they are going to turn. The people that are ready, Arteta out, it's just going to strengthen their point. And if you're one of these people that are happy with 6 years, no trophy, you will be in the minority. Because I'm speaking to people, heavy backers of Arteta. Even they are saying the Prem or the Champions League. If not, get him gone. There's managers waiting. There's Xavi. There's the World Cup. It's a World Cup year. So after the World Cup, there's managers that are going to be available. Your Nagelsmann, your Ancelotti. There's going to be managers available. And all of this, Arteta, who can we replace? That is going to become null and void because we've seen what Slot just done this season. But people, I don't want to really end on a negative, but then again, I have to. So those were the five takeaways. But then there was one last thing. I got to call out the Arsenal fans. I've got to do it. Because in the ground, there were people booing Nicolas Pepe. Why? If you're one of those people, hang your head in shame. What did Nicolas Pepe do to get booed? He came in as our record transfer. It wasn't his fault. He didn't pick his price. He had a very good season at Lille. But then the fans are booing him. For what? He didn't ask to leave Arsenal. We kicked him out. Majority of fans were saying he's not good enough. He didn't want to go. We kicked him out. So why are we booing him? And then what did that do? Gave him extra fire in his belly. Because as soon as they started booing him, he started cooking. Mars Lewis Skelly cooked. Kivior cooked. Whoever cooked. He scored straight away and he was respectful. He put his hands in the air out of respect for Arsenal Football Club. So people, do better, man. Do better. There's no need to boo your former players, especially ones that didn't leave disgracefully or out of disrespect. We kicked him out. So don't boo your former players. It don't make no sense because they always will end up scoring against you. Walcott done it, and many others have done it. Adebayor done it. He ran the full length of the pitch, and you can't blame him because us Arsenal fans are stupid. A lot of us. But yeah, that's the end. Make sure you're liking, sharing, and subscribing to the channel. See you next time, people.